right. Hello. Welcome. It's the Cup Chasers podcast. And my man, Cesc Fabregas, has hung up the boots. I've been a huge fan for a long time. One of the first jerseys I had in my closets. Um, I remember back when he was one of the youngest players in the league, one of the youngest players to play for Arsenal. Uh, on the coattails, on the bootstraps of some of Arsenal's greatest players of all time. Um, certainly jealous he got to play with Henri and Bergkamp and all them. Uh, his I remember him being in a documentary. They made a documentary about Thierry Henry at Arsenal, and I remember seeing him in that documentary. And this is like it was like 10 years after after they'd made the documentary. I was like, whoa, he looked so young when he was first coming up uh, at Arsenal, man. But definitely moved up through the ranks as the years went on. Got the armband. For me, for 3 or 4 seasons there, was clear and above Arsenal's best player. Um, yeah, so congratulations on a great career. I mean, he won all kinds of stuff. Maybe not necessarily with Arsenal, but got a World Cup under his belt.
Yep.
Moved on to Barcelona, won all kinds of crap there. Um, I mean, and that Barcelona team was just
It was ridiculous.
incredible. Yeah,
Stacked.
and then moved to Chelsea, the blue side of London.
We
Got
got two of
himself
those Barcelona players
got
from that
himself
team.
Premier League.
Yeah.
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 We got Pedri.
Oh, he was so
and-
fun to watch, though. He was so
Oh, yeah.
creative,
Yeah.
and you were just waiting to see the next pass that he was gonna.
He just knew. Yeah.
Create.
He had the game knowledge with bar none. Like you could tell. And Maestro. That's the atypical midfield maestro.
Yeah, I mean his first game with Chelsea in terms of the league, he hits an absolute dime of a pass to
Yep.
it was Andre Schuler
It was
for the
Schürrle.
first goal of
Yeah.
the season for Chelsea against Burnley.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was maybe the second goal. Either way, it was ridiculous.
Yep.
That generation of Spanish midfielders is just absolutely like Hall of Fame tier. Like I mean, there's nothing like to get in that Spain team.
Oh, yeah.
Just woof.
Yeah, they're world
If I was
class.
Spain, and it's so funny too, because if I was the Spain manager for that team, I would have played an 8-man midfield. Like, how do you?
Well, I mean, they didn't play with a
Wasn't it Del Bosque?
David Villa was in
Yeah,
there.
it was Del Bosque. Yeah,
It was Del Bosque.
Like, how do you sit any of those midfielders? Like, yeah.
Well, my thing was I always thought that because I've been a Mikel Arteta fan since long ago, and he was a part of that generation, and I always felt so bad that
No way.
he
No way.
was
No way
he was
in.
good. Captain for Everton forever. Captain for Arsenal. Couldn't get near that Spain team.
Not even close.
Couldn't even get close to the Spain team, man.
There was
Not
a
even on
time
the injury
David Silva
reserve.
that wasn't in the team. David
Yeah.
Silva, like that, like there's guys who are historically world class couldn't get it.
As good as Fabregas was, like he wasn't a huge part of the Spain team.
no, he was more of a sub.
Yeah.
You know?
Even when Iniesta couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, but who do you take out of Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets? Like what? Like
Right.
what?
None. You don't take none.
No, that's why you play with a 5-man midfield. You put Fabregas right beside him, tell him to share the role, and you just play
So just throw in
Top-
Fabregas and David Silva in there with him.
with him.
Just no one ever touches the ball.
You stick
Exactly.
El Nino on the top.
You
just
can't
say, "El
win.
Nino, just do something.
Yeah,
That's
let
why
him
the-
hit his one. Let him hit
That's
his
why
one,
the
and
World
then
Cup was 1-0ers the whole way.
They would just hold the ball for
hold the ball. You can't
82%
score
of the
if you don't have
game.
the ball. Right.
Passes and one shot on goal. They converted, won the game.
I mean, it was and think about it. In Spain, they had it was David Villa, and after Villa, it was Torres. That's the only strikers they had. They didn't need nobody else. Like that, you didn't have to do anything. And then to win the Continental Cup, the World Cup, the Continental Cup. I mean, that's
Dynastic for sure.
And the crazy thing is before they won that first Euro, there was questions of is this generation actually
Are they
going to
gonna-
do anything,
Are they going to miss their golden generation?
or are they going to
Yeah.
miss their golden generation? And then they won that Euro, and it was like pressure was taken off of them because they went to the World Cup in
Ran over
South Africa, and
Again,
Nobody
80%
could touch 'em.
possession.
Yeah.
It's because they didn't hire Roberto Martinez. No shade.
Right.
No shade. No shade.
Oh,
No,
but it
just-
is one amazing career. You hate to see our legends, like our generation of legends, slowly stepping off the field left and right. And we all knew this day would come, and it doesn't make it any easier by far, because when you do see somebody like that stepping off the field and you read their goodbye letter or you watch their ceremony, you're like, and you just remember every moment that you were like, it's one of those, you're standing at the TV doing this because Fabregas, like Patrick said, hits a dime to Schuler on the second day. It's just
Well, I'm excited though because I look at that generation and you think about them becoming managers and training up the next generation.
Fabregas
Guardiola was in one, right? Because I mean, look at the guys who played then. They're all managers now. They're all you got Arteta. Arteta is a fabulous manager. I mean, obviously he still has some growth to go, but that's something he'll learn. He's gonna win. He's already won, and you see him. And they were trained up by guys that are still there, so they still have like the managers that manage them, and they're competing against them. So it's like the Ninja Turtles with Master Splinter or whatever. And so you just
like the Busquets Moreno. That was a big one in the Europa.
I think it's gonna be amazing because these next
Alonso. I'm sorry, Alonso.
The next group of managers we have coming are gonna be freaking amazing, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna be great.
no.
So one point and one question. First, my point is that Fabregas is one of those players where doesn't matter where he's gone, all fans love him.
Mhm.
I absolutely adore that man, and I know you guys do as well.
Have to.
And so my question
His
is,
song alone, it just
Oh.
yeah.
my question is, where was he best?
Barcelona.
That was his
Is
prime.
that because of the team?
I mean, that's what midfielders. That's what happens when you have a good midfielder with a good
That matters.
team. Like
I
you
think
can
that
put-
matters
right,
though. He had
matters.
to carry Arsenal a couple of
He
seasons.
did carry us a couple of seasons.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
Well, it's kind of weird.
Oh no, keep going, Lewis.
Well, I think it's kind of weird. Like, it's a question of just rating players of how much do you put the player's talent and connect it to the team's success, and how much of the team's success is connected to the player's talent. Because the thing is, there's guys who are really good, and you're like, but then you look at them, and you're like, but they weren't that good yet, or they were like okay there, but then when you put them in another place where they had to lean on their talent, you're like, this person is amazing, but you didn't see it in that other place. And so it's to Jake's point where in Arsenal, like I don't think he had to carry Chelsea as much because I think Chelsea had more around him. But I think at Arsenal, he was dragging them. And he did a wonderful job there, And in Barcelona, it was Barcelona, man. It's just
the production that he had at Barcelona.
I was gonna say, it felt like that his full potential was unlocked at Barcelona.
Well, I mean, that was 2011 to 2014.
They were wrecking shop.
They were
wrecking shop. I mean, he's not the focal point.
Yeah.
At Arsenal, he was the focal point.
And we bought him for a specific role. Like, he did not have to move outside of a lot of his role, but he played his role very well. But that's exactly why we said we need a producer. We need you to send the ball to that was when we were playing running gun wings, big man up top, Diego Costa. Yeah, and just feed the beast. And he could do that. And that's all we bought him for. I think you're right about a little bit of Lewis. Like, the work he had to put in on the field for Arsenal was a little bit more than, again, Barcelona made him play a very much so maestro role. Hit a dime here, hit the winger here, play the ball in the middle, or don't let anybody else touch it. That's your job.
They pretty much just suffocated you out of it. Kept the ball.
85% possession.
But at the same time, you can't really take it from him because he still had to do it. And see, that's the part that matters because you, like, for example, when people say, well, De Bruyne, it's easy because he's passing to Haaland. Well, I watched a whole bunch of other players try to pass to him and have zero success. So, I mean, you still got to do it.
I think Fabregas was made. I think you can hang your hat on one thing. Fabregas was made in Arsenal.
I think
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
That's where
Because
he
he
was
came
made.
in, he signed in 03, like at the beginning of the Invincible season. And that
Did he
was
come from
his
La Masia?
intro to Arsenal.
Did he come from Barcelona? He came from Barcelona's
Academy.
academy.
Started in Barcelona, came to London, played in the academy for like one season, played with the youth for one season. No, maybe not. I think he does have an Invincibles medal. I think he was in the
I
first
think
team.
you've said that before that he did.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, whether you think old Cesc Fabregas was best at Arsenal, Barcelona, or Chelsea, go ahead and let's get a whole ton of likes on the video from our man Cesc for a sterling, glittering, wonderful career.
Absolutely.
Definitely played his way into all of our hearts, and there he will remain. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. Get that notification bell on. We'll see you next time.